I want for a very interesting topic, merging towards um, merging towards the future of tourism sector both through ONE TVET and TISC collaboration. So TISC is a very unique collaboration. It's a combination of government and private sector involved. So if you really see TISC or tourism industry skills council is working under Ministry of Education and represented by all the private sector committees, associations, and groups of all influential people in the industry. So today we are trying to see how we can, from the TIC point of view and from the country's point of view, how we can collaborate for the betterment and the future of the tourism sector and the skills of the Sri Lankan youth and going forward to take over the country's future endeavors. My name is Dr. Shaffaath Amidon. Today I'd like to welcome Mr. Bandhula Ekenayake, who is the Managing Director of Blackpool Hotel and the Group of Holdings, and Mr. Nilan Wickramasinghe, CEO and Managing Director of Lion Royal Group of Holdings. So these gentlemen are carrying decades of experience in the industry, and they have started at the very industrial level, and they have grown up to become entrepreneurs and also managers of the group of hotels in Sri Lanka. And I have no hesitant to say they are not only professionals, and they are very patriotic for the culture, for the nature, and for the tourism aspect of Sri Lanka. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me dig into our main topic. So, tourism. Everyone is talking about tourism, right? Everywhere people like to talk about tourism, but seems like, gentlemen, one step forward and two steps backwards, or maybe three steps backwards. That is the key for tourism at the moment. So we have managed to survive the corona. Then we were faced with political issues, Ukraine issues, and then, three step is now we are facing with Aragalaya. What do you think about this current scenario? Do you think there is a shiny day, or there is a bright future for Sri Lanka tourism? Starting with Mr. Bandhula, what is your opinion on this?
Good morning, doctor. Actually, if you take the tourism industry always has setbacks. If you go into the history of tourism, I think if you talk about 1970s or 1980s, mainly 1980s, we had a very bad situation in the country, and it was a setback. And then we faced the tsunami. Then we face the 30 years of internal problems of the ethnic problem. We faced that, and then now it has come to COVID, and before that we had the incident in April, that is East attack. And then after that, now we are facing with this Aragalaya, or the collapse of the or economic crisis. So with all these things, what I feel is nobody thought that we will rise up during the last 30 years with the ethnic problems and all those things. But now we are coming to a position where if we can face all these things, we have the courage, as well as always the tourism is always we think about the potential avenues where we can improve the tourism in Sri Lanka. I think another thing I would like to mention here is we find really when we face problems like this, we find new methods and systems where to develop, as well as where to improve our services and all those things in tourism. I think this is some sort of what I feel is this is some sort of a blessing which has come in a a different way, like. So that's my thinking. I think we will face it. I think we have always thinking positive about this situations. We have faced the situations much more bigger than this. So I think it won't be a another disaster or anything like that. We will improve within another 6-7 months time.
Okay, well, what about Mr. Wickramasinghe? What is your opinion on this? What do you think about the present Aragale, or whatever the problem that we have, as mentioned, Mr. Bandhula, the historical? Do you think we will struggle to go forward, or as he said, it's going to be blessing in disguise, and we are going to jump forward and we will become more brave and more innovative in the coming future days?
I think, Doctor, you started very correctly, and your entrance, I like it, because in Sri Lanka, people talk about politics. That's the number one topic. And the second topic is tourism. A person who has never been in the trade or who has no connection to tourism, they will always ask, now, how are you? How are things now? So that's the way that our people think. And so since this is the most talk about the industry, and it's a very, very sensitive thing. And as you said, we have to look into the matter with the global trends. Tourism has been bad for last 2 years. That's mainly due to COVID. But we have suffered, as Bandhula very correctly said, with the Easter attack. And then actually, if you see what is going around the world, as you said, Ukraine war has affected a lot in Sri Lankan tourism, because our main and traditional markets are there, and also upcoming markets like Ukraine, Russia, and other places. And when you talk about locally, so we have suffered for the 2 years, and we have a problem of employees going out. And when you talk about it globally, industry was to take off, like the restarted should begin somewhere by 2024. That's how the forecasts are when it comes to the airline industries and everything. So since tourism is a subject, very much customer centric, and which works with a huge network of everything. Everything is related to tourism. Only in Sri Lanka, we think about 3.5 million are depending on this subject. And so for the moment, even Europe has not yet started where to go and where to be. And we should not forget, when you look at the economy and world economy, we are in the midst, yet to begin, but somewhere it has begun. What you call is the fourth industrial revolution. So in this, there will be a huge impact in commerce, in economies, in logistics and everything, with related to internet, AI, artificial intelligence, digital marketing. Everything is going to be digitalized, and they will think every inch, every minute, convert into dollars and cents. So in this context, what I see is the only industry which will remain with human contact will be tourism. So then what I want, my message is to the students who are willing to come into the trade. This is the moment. This is the opportunity. As Bandhula said, this is the silver line in the dark cloud where we should think.
Thank you, Mr. Wickramasinghe. Before I go for the other question, I really like to inform the audience that don't make this language as a barrier. So probably we will go into Singlish, and of course, if you have any questions in Tamil, of course we can answer. And of course, we have the panel who has experts in French language. So even French, we are more than welcome to answer any questions. But keep it very subjective. Keep it to the industry. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions that you want to ask. Please be kind enough to let us know what is going on in your mind. So going ahead with everything is connected. So if you look at the the manpower, like, you have been decades in the industry, you have seen, you have been working with people for last maybe from 80s, 90s, 2000, now 2010. So what do you think the future or the present generation of the skilled youth, and what, as you mentioned about AI and those global thing, what do you think about the future of the manpower of tourism? Starting with Mr. Wickramasinghe, you can touch on what you mentioned and you can move on with the
Yeah,
AI.
that's right. Thanks. Yeah, manpower, as I said, now the tourism is one industry where you need contact. Tourism is making contacts, meeting people. So when you are going from place to another, you seek for assistance. You need to get information. Human beings are one phenomena that you will need contacts. So tourism will be the only industry where you will need more and more employees. So if you take into the Sri Lankan economy, tourism has been a very good contributor to the the GDP, and it has been something like 8%. And this money you earn in the country is remaining in the country. Even 10% of that money is not going out, because we can do tourism without importing much things. And also, when you, in terms of earning dollars, our youth, new generation, the next level should not be only working in Sri Lanka and in Sri Lankan industry. They have an ample opportunity to go abroad. The chefs, good chefs, good cooks have millions of vacancies out of world. It can be New Zealand, it can be Australia, Canada, Middle East, Maldives, wherever you need it. Because we have this hospitality in our blood and this thing, our soul. So then what we have to do is just to polish it up, like you're cutting a nice gem, and then you are a brilliant character. And then this can convert into making much needed foreign currency. You don't have to bring tourists and earn, but why not? We have a superb youth. We have intelligent people. Our people are very communicative, smiling. Send them abroad and bring good money. So we are there to help these youth come out. You don't worry. This is going to be a money-making industry where you can enjoy your life, meet people, and if you are talented enough, sky is the limit.
As I started saying that these guys are very patriotic, and keeping with the same answer that Mr. Nilan Wickramasinghe mentioned, Bandhula, do you think, are we generous enough to train these people in Sri Lanka? And we do all the work with them, like coming out of this rural, teaching English and teaching habits and languages, everything. Are you happy with the people moving out to the world and they do well? Of course, you guys, the hotels have to learn and relearn and teach and again coach and all those things. Do you feel happy about that scenario? And second question I want to ask is, what do you suggest to this youth of future of the tourism youth? You can combine those two together.
I'll start like this, as Nilan correctly said, that hospitality is in our blood. I think so. Because of that, I think it's very easy to give the services that the foreigners or the guests need. It's very easy. That is, we are giving it from our bottom of our heart. But it's not the youth or the people who are working in the industry are not working just because of they have to work. They have a liking to give the services. And number two is, I will quote something from one of our veteran hotelier or a hotel owner, Mr. Jetwing managing director, Mr. Iran Kure, used to tell, you don't need any qualification to join hotel industry. You should have the capability or experience to smile. If you have a smile in your face, we can train anybody. for hotel industry. So that is a basic requirement. The liking has to be there. You should like the industry, like you should like to serve everybody. And then that is the main basic requirement you need. And then, as you said, we do the training. Now most of the people, they think when you say, I don't know whether, please correct me if I'm wrong, Nilan, but most of the people think this tourism means a subject or a industry where the well-educated who can speak English and the high society can enjoy or get employment in the society. So, but actually, now if you go into the rural areas, like all the hotels in the rural areas are managed, or all the workers are from those areas. So it's a cross section of the Sri Lankan society who get involved in this. I should add another thing into this, because this benefits goes to everybody in the industry, not one party. All the people are, for example, the hotel owners or the entrepreneurs, from that up to the wayside person who is selling a king coconut to a foreigner. This is what distributed among those other, as correctly said, those are the foreign exchange or the dollars, but we get into Sri Lanka. So what we do at the moment is, now currently also most of the hotels, now recently I think we launch a system where we start training all the staff what we have in our hotels who are employed. And the thing is, now we had a brain drain, definitely. It's going to last few months or weeks, or like recent past, we had a very big brain drain. And as well as there are requirements in the other countries, as well as for the especially now the Football World Cup is coming up, and in Qatar you have plenty of opportunities to go there. So because of that, we need some sort of a ongoing training programs to be taken place. So those are the areas we are looking into really, and then add our values and all those things into that and train the youth. We request all the youth who are just out of school or just out of studies, please join us, because join the hotel industry. That is the best industry you can join, and go ahead and have a career path with a betterment of yourself as well as to the country.
Okay, so I've seen, like, I'm sure you guys agree with me that Sri Lankans in the hospitality more than in the country. I mean, there are superstars all over the world. Like if you see the chef areas, front office, JMs, they are doing extremely well in wherever they are. Like they I think, as you mentioned, it's in the blood. Like a level. So I mean, what do you like? You mentioned Mr. Kure's statements, and if you can smile, but what apart from the smile we have everyone have it in Sri Lanka. And what is the future tourism hospitality guy will look like? Like Mr. Wickramasinghe said about AI and making contact, and you mentioned about smiling, and then about little bit of skills. I mean, of course, we had a different set of people, millennium, Gen Z, whatever they call it. And now for the future, how do you perceive a hospitality guy will look like in the coming days?
I think we have to think in a different angle now, because now we were used to train the staff only for the different departments. Like for example, you train a receptionist, you train a housekeeping boy, you train a waiter or a food and beverage serviceman, and then a cook or something like that. You give them only the training in that respective area.
Yeah.
But the future will be for the who join the industry or who come into the hospitality industry should have all the services, but they are required. Like it should be a multi task orientation, like, and then you have to have a multi talents to work in the general knowledge, as well as the mainly you have to, as you very well said, the soft skills has to be improved
Okay.
a lot, really.
Mr. Wickramasinghe, what do you think about, what is your take on that? Future tourism guy. I mean, if you look at a person to perceive how this young generation who is watching us, or the government sector, or the stake involvement stake holders who are watching this, what is your message to them? Okay, this is the future tourism guy looks like, and it's not okay. Smile is there, skills, soft skills are there. You mentioned AI, and as you said, some like, what is the next key to take on?
Next level is tourism is one subject where you have to do a lot of self-studies.
Okay, that's a good
Let's say
one.
if you take a guide.
Yeah.
You just follow the course given by Sri Lanka,
Switham,
and you become a guide. You are not a guide. You can't call that person a guide.
Okay.
And most of the people, they do study in English. And then to be a professional in English guiding, you need at least 7 to 10 years. And if you are a French or whatever foreign language person, you will need similar studies, because everything has to be translated. Whatever you see, whatever you do, the subjects are not limited. It's vast. It's like the horizon. So we have to keep on doing your studies. And our people have to be professionals in tourism.
Professionals, yeah.
In whatever you do. You can be housekeeping, cooking, it can be front office, it can be service, steward. Especially, I can give you a very good example for stewarding and waitering. So a waiter can be a person who brings the things from the kitchen and give it, and steward a little bit more. And then sometimes you have to do your preparation on the spot when you serve a la carte. Let's say how to cut a fish. You should know how to cut a fish. And then if someone comes and I've been to some restaurants, outside, let's say France. If you go to south of France, there's a thing called bouillabaisse. It's a kind of fish where you make out of 5 fish. And then, so different kind of wines and things like that. So when you go to a particular restaurant, real, proper, professional waiter or a steward will come to you and say, "So this is the menu today. We have the bouillabaisse, and you have 5 kinds of fish. These fish are not from the same temperature. This fish is from the rock, and this one is generally behavior pattern is this degrees of temperature, and so forth and so on. And then we prepare. My chef went to the market this morning. We chosen, and this is a very personal thing. And then it goes with the wine. When it goes with the wine, he will recommend you, since the fish are from this and this is cooked in this temperature, and you have cheese and everything on it, and then you should taste with this kind of wine. This is the bottle that I am recommending. I don't think in Sri Lanka you have many who can say that. I have a personal experience. Once when I opened my second hotel, I interviewed some people for F&B. And the very first question I asked, I didn't look at the qualification. Qualification can be there. You read and this thing, and you get a qualification certificate, you're qualified. But you have to convert into practice and knowledge. So I asked this person, now let's imagine there's a person, a couple is coming from anywhere in the world, foreigners. They come here for lunch, the first experience. What would you recommend? Can you, if I imagine a person who has done a hotel school degree, what is he going to recommend? You will not imagine. Fried rice.
That's true. Very true.
I was astonished. I said, okay, fried rice. And with rice and curry, what's the type of wine are you going to propose? He is looking at me. Actually, rice and curry is not meant for wine.
Foreigners, that's right.
At least that bit he should know.
No, exactly.
What and
how
you can do it. So this is where I think we need professional. The next level is to not to just produce youth into tourism, make them professionals in tourism.
Okay.
That is where we have to hit, and that is where this industry of training trainers and youth will be a money melting industry in the country. You don't have to worry about anything. Coming a tourist into the country is bringing at least $800.
At least
$800.
minimum, bare minimum.
Right? Look at the other industries. You have to wait, you have to do, you have to stitch, you have to export, you have to wait till the money comes.
Spend for the
Tomorrow you give us the diesel, petrol, power, energy, whatever you need to normalize the country. Tomorrow you have the foreign currency coming into this country.
Already 15,000 has come for this month with all the problems. So we can think how they.
We are sitting on a gold mine without not knowing knowing what to do, but we are not doing anything.
So do you think if I say it's a topic, tourism is something that widely spoken about, but hardly technical, hardly understood topic or the industry? Do you guys agree with me on that?
It's like this, because a lot of people talk about tourism.
Okay.
But you just think about what they have done to tourism, right? Now, mainly tourism is a private sector driven industry where the support of the government sector is needed 100%.
Okay.
But everybody is not thinking in that manner. Now, for example, if you take, we take TVEC and NITA also as an example. Right? I'm just because I don't know, because people may say, I think they will get offended. But actually, all the institutions who involved in this tourism has to think wearing that private sector cap.
Okay.
Because that is not happening. So we talk a lot about this, as Nilan correctly said, that this is the easiest industry where you can bring dollars or the foreign exchange to the country.
So Nilan, do you think that just to take it from the Mr. Bandhula's statement, we have TVEC, we have NITA, we have hotel schools, we have the universities, we have so-called one of the best education system in the South Asia or Asia, and we have high literacy rate. In contrary to the infrastructure, are we getting enough from those infrastructure? As you mentioned, like technical stuffs are not being taught, or are we lacking the commitment, as Mr. Bandhula said, are we lacking the commitment to introduce this stuff to this reality to the people, or we're just going with the tradition of creating doctors, engineers, and maybe the rest of the stuff? What do you think about in general? What is the good, bad, and ugly of the situation?
It's I think it's a very hard question. From A to Z, tourism is not a 8-hour job.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Right?
Where we can clear on that one.
Yes.
First thing. If you want to come into the industry, if you are a member of any part of the network of tourism.
Okay, just to clear with these people who are watching, how many hours have you worked in your the worst time? I would say the highest amount of hours that you have worked on a day in your starting from, say,
in my career, I started as a management trainee.
Okay.
But after that, when you are running a department or handling a department as an executive or a manager, right? Sometimes in the front office division, as front office manager, I have worked nearly 20 hours.
20 hours.
That is in 1980s.
1980s, 20 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Nilan, you.
Yeah, that 90s, that was only when we were getting something like 400,000 tourists into the country.
400 to 1,000 people, they have worked 19 hours to 20 hours.
My experience is because I have been in many areas of tourism. I worked as a executive as well, and I became a guide.
Okay.
So when I was a guide, that was the hardest time. And when we start a tour from Colombo airport, and we go next week, you come and drop the clients. on a Sunday, and other group is waiting on arrival launch.
Okay.
So you take them and go to Sigiriya. So my friends used to meet me by giving me appointments because I'm at home very rarely, just to wash my clothes and take the next door and go.
Yeah.
So this is how the way we work, and with minimum facilities.
Okay.
Right. And then I became a travel agent. And so to tell you the truth, when I was a guide, my father had an accident. I was in Sigiriya. I had to wait till another guide come and pick my group to come to Columbus and see my father.
So you were responsible, you were staying back, and you were okay.
So the worst thing when my father died.
Okay. So on behalf of the youth who is watching, or on behalf of the stakeholders who are not in the tourism, one question: is it worth it? Is it like happy to do that, or are you doing for the job? What is your inner feeling about it?
Tourism it's a passion. It's
Passion.
not a business.
Okay.
If you don't have that passion to serve the people, the passion to work, passion to take care of your responsibilities, no, you're not fit to do tourism.
Okay. So as Ms. Bandhula said, smile is enough, but not enough. Right, you need to have that passion with the customer care
and the liking.
Okay, liking.
It should come from you.
Yeah.
Let me disturb. My father had an accident, and to wait to see him, I had to wait 2 days till other guide come.
Okay.
When he died, I was to go to the airport. I was getting ready. I got the call. I didn't go to see the body. I went to the airport and bring the clients to the hotel, and I had to wait till the other guide come. And then I went there. It doesn't mean that I don't love my father.
That's true. That is true.
But for the foreigners or my customer, that's not their problem.
Exactly.
What is with us, family or myself or my illness, is not their problem. So we have to understand that this is a huge cultural issue that we are facing in Sri Lanka in total.
Yeah.
No, it's teach you to sacrifice something to some extent.
Yeah, the commitment, passion, and also doing the right thing. I would say, like you say, as you said, okay, I'm not saying that, what I was just saying, taking from him, he said, if I'm not there, the foreigners will not have anyone, right? At least I can coordinate the rest of the stuff at home, right? So you prioritize, right? So which is kind of something which doesn't happen. Now, if in other industry, probably you stop everything, would have gone home immediately, because saying that your father and also the rest of the people will understand. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please let us know. And we are waiting to this panel of expert willing to answer any questions. And moving on with that, do you think, what kind of, the government and the rest of the organization, and also the rest of the public? I know government, the state institution is maybe 25%. Rest of the private sector could be banks to association and public, right? How we can bring in this entire thing towards merging towards this industry? Like I know we do our, you guys do your part, going for sales and bring the business and look after them and put the money into the dollars, put the dollars into the bank, and then the rest of the will enjoy the dollar, but how do you think that we can combine this, bridging this gap, making the tourism industry as the part and parcel of life of Sri Lankans? I think that's what most of the people, most of the countries like Singapore has done. What do you think about that? I mean, how is there anything that we can do on that?
No, actually, the awareness has to be there. Now, for example, in any other country, that most of the, I think, employees in the hospitality industry is, I think, majority is females. But in Sri Lanka, what is the situation?
Okay.
Very few. I think not even 10%.
Not 10%, yes, 8%.
8% or something. Yeah. So that is the, as you said, socially, our culture or our thinking of the people has to be changed. This is needed very, very urgently, as I think most of the funding agencies or the who are helping to do the training, and also are helping or trying to get this into the minds of the people in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Because where we are losing, you just think about now, for example, we think about females who are going abroad and doing some sort of housekeeping or housemaid work. They bring dollars, they think. But see the what happened to the families of those females who are going abroad. But if they can find employment in the hospitality industry, the total thing will change, because they can find employment close to their home.
Yeah.
Right. And then they provide the uniforms, they provide hotel industry, they provide uniforms, they provide the meals. If necessary, they provide accommodation also.
Yeah.
Another thing is in Sri Lankan, this thing, I think I would say the hotel job is, the hotel employment is for the female is most secure employment. It's 100%. We can guarantee, because there is because we have very strict rules and regulations in the industry.
So do you think now you provide them uniform to start with, you provide them with the meals, that means 3 meals or whatever, and then you provide with accommodation, right? Hospitality industry and tourism industry provided with the hospital. So do you think that when it come to the, I know Sri Lankans are very focused, and when they come to salary, they say I'm getting XYZ. Do they know that they are getting this, and just do the rest of the general public aware of it? Or I think there is a
gap, because we don't give that to the general public. They don't know about it. They don't know about it, because if you calculate everything together, right, we will say how much you need to live one day.
Yeah.
For your meals, your uniforms, your other accommodation.
Yeah.
So that costs a lot.
Now I'm sure now people may be feeling it very hard,
Yeah.
like staying at home and having a meal, and rather go to work and have a. I'm sure you guys are
good meal.
exactly. I'm sure you guys are having a good meal, which is maybe a like comprehensive, hygienic, and also sometimes with a dessert to sweeten up.
Yes.
Yeah. So every meal with a dessert is becoming royalty at these days, but it's been provided, right? Okay. So do you, Mr. Wickramasinghe, do you think what you get from the school and what you get from so-called the institution like hotel schools, as you mentioned, is not enough, right? So you train them, but do you think that they can help you reduce the gap? So training is important, but do you think that they can do little better? So, and also you can go there and we can go there and do some collaboration with them.
I think first thing, when you talk about the salaries and revenues,
okay.
So this is a vulnerable thing.
Okay.
Because most of the young generation now, they are into these telephones, motorbikes and everything. So they want to do a lot of things at once.
Okay.
And so they have a tendency to buy a 3-wheeler or do some other odd job rather than going for skills.
Okay.
But that is good in very short term. But in long term, what are you going to gain? Let's say if you start in a hotel today, even with the minimum salary, which is 17,000, something like that.
Okay.
And then you're getting your 3 meals. Each meal, if you eat out, let's say you are having a job where you get 75,000, you have to go out and find a boarding house. So you will need at least 7,500, 10,000 just for a
minimum,
bed.
minimum bed. Sharing with another person, probably at that rate.
5 people. And then to find a good meal, minimum is 200 rupees, let's say 600 rupees. So then 18,000, 28,000 is gone. But here you are healthy, you have your free time, you have your bed, you have your proper accommodation, and you eat well and you learn.
No transport.
No transport, because everything is provided, even the medical on the job, right?
And I've seen these young boys on the off day, they get together and play some volleyball.
Yeah.
So there's some other activities also provided, right?
Tournaments are there.
Okay.
Among the associations, all those things are there.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, if you even work in a hotel freely
Mm.
without earning a cent,
Yeah.
only with food and accommodation and whatever the uniform you get. You learn and learn for your future
Mm-mm.
and for your life,
Mm.
and maybe to nourish your family and a few more families.
Okay.
Look after your parents. Learning to work in tourism industry, it is not only to work in Sri Lanka, as I said.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a very good training ground. Train yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What I say, my people in my hotels, you train them.
Okay.
Don't keep them.
Okay.
Train them and send them
Send them
out.
off. Okay.
Send them off.
Okay.
Send them to work in another hotel. What I say is, you don't have to wait here.
Mm.
You get maximum out of us. Go and work in another hotel. Go to a 5-star hotel and try to go abroad and earn much better than here. Because the employee turnover in tourism industry is very high.
High, yeah, okay.
Travel and tourism.
Okay.
Because I have done my researches in countries like Holland, UK, France especially,
Okay.
when I was doing some research
Okay.
for my studies.
Okay.
So everywhere in the world it's like that.
Okay.
At the very beginning, when you look at like this, your earning is not that much. You work a lot, but there's satisfaction inside. And in long term, you earn well also.
Okay.
Let's say you earn in rupees in Sri Lanka,
Okay.
and tomorrow, and you practice, you go after 1 year, you go abroad and you earn $500. Convert it how
Oh
much?
yeah, sure.
And today you have the opportunity to earn more than that. You have other benefits, tips you get. You get service charge, right? And if you are capable enough, whatever the walk of life from you are, and whatever the educational background, tourism is a subject or an industry where you can climb the ladder
Exactly.
with experience and that type of qualification, right?
So I just want to add that also, like, I have when on my travel, on my journey towards a global many countries that I've visited, so I have seen everywhere Sri Lankans are working, right? I was surprised one day when the flight landed in West Indies. So West Indies is like very, very far, but still at that West Indies, there was a guy who said, "Aye, well, Lanka," right? I was like so shocked because it was something that I never expect at all, right? But he's doing very well there, right? So guys, I mean, I'm from what I take and what I tell you, the youth is, I mean, psychologically, you want to roam around, you want to be free, and you want to experiment. So there is no industry as such. Like, you can work here and you can meet the foreigners. And also, if you want to say, if you don't want to work in your Gami hotel, right? You go to the Nagare or like city one. Or if you don't like city, you can go to another province, right? If you don't like the beach, you can go to hills. And if you don't like hills, you can go to Jaffna, right? If you don't like at all, you can go to Maldives, anywhere, right? So youth on Sri Lanka, please note, and of course the stakeholders in the industry and the stakeholders who is participating here, give the message to people that this is the industry. If your youth is struggling or hesitant to come to the industry, tell them you don't have to take a motorbike and go around, but if you join the hotel, you can take yourself all over the place. There is a question. There's a question from the Mr. Hemal Dias is asking, what is the most appropriate mechanism that can provide some initial practical guidance to assist state institutions, donor agencies, etc., and policymakers to work more effectively with the youth? So basically, he's asking how can I think that is what I think TISC all about is talking about. He's asking how to get rightly said, the state mechanism and donors and the private sector to work and come up with a plan. I mean, if you can,
I think that's the right question.
Yes, exactly.
Of the day and of the hour as well.
Yeah.
What we should do is we have to take this mechanism other way around. Like you train, get a certificate, go to a hotel thing, you have to forget.
Okay.
You first put them into the pool, put them into the sea, put them into the river, let them swim. Let them learn to swim.
Okay.
And then let them work and earn money rather than paying for a course and then they become qualified and then to go to a hotel and this youth, they think that they have a certificate, they are going to get a big salary.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say very small example, you train someone as a cook. So he thinks he's a cook when he goes out. He's not a cook. he will need another at least 3-4 years of experience.
Yeah.
Now let this youth join the hot trade. Ask them to come to the hotel, whichever the field you want to work.
Yeah.
It can be housekeeping, it can be front office, according to the minimum qualification. Then we can train them in hotels. According to this experience, you have this wonderful thing called NVQ. With NVQ, then you can justify his qualification.
Yeah, okay.
And then we can even tell the hoteliers, you take them into the government sector, to skill industry, TVEC or whatever, and then you register them, send them without any qualification, send them to work. And tell the hoteliers,
Train them.
amount you have to pay is 20,000 or something. Half should come to the skill industry.
Yeah.
I mean the
Academics or
academics, you know,
institutions
and they will only get 10,000. They are lodged, they have food, accommodation, and everything. 1 year training, compulsory to get a certificate. Definitely this will work, because now they want to train themselves. They want to learn cookery, they want to learn housekeeping, and they come to a school, they are not getting anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of boring thing. When they go and work, there's something happening.
Yeah.
They learn, they have some pocket money. And on the other hand, this government institution do not have to depend on the government to earn money.
Yeah,
So industry will pay.
Yeah.
We, as a hotelier, I like it very much. All the hoteliers who give this project, everybody will like 20,000, right? So I'm just giving this thing. This can be more, this can be less. So then I think that gives kind of punch for people to come and work.
And there are many more donor agencies also willing to help this culture.
So,
as well as I should add something into this, because practical knowledge or the on-the-job training knowledge is much more important than the theoretical knowledge.
Exactly.
Theory you can learn anyhow.
Yeah.
Now at the moment with the facilities what you have, right? So you can learn those things online and everything you can learn, but you can never get the practical knowledge.
Yeah.
You have to see how you practically use that, how you practically implement those things. So that is most important. As I'm 100% agreeing with Nilan, that you have to give them put them into the deep end and let them start swimming, right? And then we can help them.
I also want to experience. I want to share my experience, because I mean, you may go for the theory knowledge unless you know the beat. Like, really, you can. It's like, talking about a concert and everything. But unless I'm talking, since we are talking the youth here, right? When you go to a concert, even before you enter the gate, you are dancing. Right, you are getting into the beat, you are in the rhythm. So that is what they are talking about. So apprentice, or this kind of vocational, people who have no experience, industry is still willing to, and they are doing at the moment, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Another thing I should add. Now it's now in current scenario, it's very popular, the homestay units.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So if you learn something, right, especially I'm giving this message to the females, girls. If they learn something from the hotels, if they learn how to do a bed, how to cook, how to clean, and all those things, methods and all those things, and the reception work, and just everything about everything, like all the aspects of the hoteliering, you can have your own. If you have decent accommodation, you can convert one of your rooms into a homestay unit and earn something. It will be a part-time thing or an additional thing until when you are working in the hoteliering. So that will be a very big area where in the future that will be very popular.
So you going to say that by getting into the hospitality industry, you don't have to stick to the industry. You are going to learn to have a good housekeeping, which you can do, which you can keep the house. Which as Ms. Nila mentioned, you talk about making connection. That means it will be future. I mean, you can have a lot of connection. That is the human nature to make to progress. So are we talking about, I remember people were saying you have to go to army to become a whole, whole person when my father's time. Are we indicating that going into the hospitality industry, at least for some time, for a youth, will give you a holistic approach? What do you think about that?
Definitely yes,
Mm.
because in military you
Mm.
are disciplined. You
Okay.
are disciplined in a very tight way.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Dictatorial.
here the difference in discipline in another way. It's
Okay.
respect.
Respect. Okay, yeah.
Respect.
Dignified.
Dignified.
Yeah.
It is sometimes, much better than the hard discipline.
Oh yes, for sure.
Because discipline comes with the respect also.
Yes, yes.
Right?
yes.
When you,
It's not the command.
it's not the command.
Yeah.
You understanding each other,
Yeah.
understanding the other person hunger, thirst, and what he wants. You are ready to serve.
Mm.
You are ready to serve not only your customer, your siblings, your people,
Mhm.
what you see in the country. Right? So then you don't have to fight in the queues. Then you
Exactly.
understand
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
person's
yeah,
need.
yeah.
You know. So tourism sector is all about that.
Okay.
You respect people. I can be the chairman or the managing director of a company. I can't be happy about wearing my tie if my client is not satisfied.
Right, okay.
If I don't see my bellboy to put the luggage into the car, I should do it.
Okay, yeah.
I am just another worker for my guest. So there is no hierarchy.
Yeah.
There is hierarchy, but
Yeah.
in
For
terms of the
management.
hierarchy, any manager
Yes.
in our industry will carry the bag of the customer.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the mentality you should have.
Bandhula?
Yeah, that's 100%. I agree with that. Now, this industry is the industry where you have to learn everything, you have to do everything,
Mm-mm.
right? You are not in one frame,
Mm.
right? You have to come out with the frame,
Mm.
out of the frame, and then do whatever you necessary at that moment
Mm.
to satisfy the customer. Such customer satisfaction is the more key thing in the industry.
Oh, okay.
Right? Always they say customer is always correct.
Yeah.
Right? He is never wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So because of that, you have to do that in that manner.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time. I think the 1 hour flew like nothing. I thought we are still at halfway through, but I think we are getting the alarm saying that the time is up. Finally, taking from what this gentleman mentioned, I mean, it is not to king to serve, but it is a king to be served. Like, if you're feeling like a king, you should serve the people. So that is what the hospitality industry. Finally, Bandhula, I just want to say, do you have can you small color? Since the Hemal has asked the question, and there's another question. Could you explain industry view and practice of giving opportunity for employees to upskilling their skills and qualification? Normally, youth are complaining that industry is not releasing them for qualification and achievement while working. Do you think
I do not agree, because I got my qualifications while working in the industry.
Okay.
Right? And the current scenario also, as Nilan previously said, that is the NITA and the TVEC is jointly doing a program where they can get the NVQ 3 and NVQ 4 qualifications while they are on duty, because they don't have to follow any courses or anything like that.
Okay.
And while with the experience what they have, they can get the qualification, because there is a thing what they have now. For example, as earlier what we discussed, now in the hotel industry or a hotel school, you have to have nearly 3 years you have to spend in the theoretical side. You do a basic program, you go to the industry and come back again to the like that. So now if the youth is willing to join the industry and get experience and get this NVQ 3 and NVQ 4 qualification, that is available at the moment.
So basically, it is not maybe it is not the fault of the industry. It's not the fault of the company or management. It's basically you have to take initiative, because I'm sure the government, the TVEC, the NITA, the VTA, all are waiting to be recognize you the employer. So it is something for them to take it on. And as he mentioned, there are NVQ qualification which is recognized worldwide, and that will be a good platform for them to be in touch with the TVEC and the other government institution. So keeping with the time, I think we have taken extra couple of minutes, and it's my honor to thank you for both of you gentlemen. And they are obviously will realize that they are coming with the immense of decades and decades of experiences. And once again, on behalf of everyone who is watching and myself, who has learned a lot of things at the moment, and I thank you all and say I won. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So we'll wind up for today, and I hope you will continue to join the rest of the program, which is scheduled by the TVEC and this program managers. So all the best to you all. Have a nice day, and hope to see you again when there's opportunity comes in the future. Thank you very much.